Welcome to Insightly. I'm Melissa McGinn.
And I'm Jordan Walker. We're your hosts on a mission to empower executives and business leaders with the knowledge they need to turn data into a driving force for innovation. Join us every episode as we share real-world case studies and provide practical tips to unlock the full potential of your business through data and analytics.
So if you're ready to transform your relationship with data, hit that subscribe button, because in the world of business, insight is power. Back for another mini episode?
Let's do it.
Okay. So another buzzword, digital transformation. What do you think of when you hear that word?
Okay, if I wasn't really in on data and I was hearing digital transformation, I don't think I would really know what it meant, because digital is such a, like, it's literally everything in our lives now.
Right.
So to me, it is just a giant word. Digital transformation is really more within how you're evolving your company and your infrastructure so that you can be more data first.
Yes.
In your organization.
So we don't really want to define digital transformation, just because I feel like there's not a definition.
Yeah.
And in a few episodes ago, you guys will have heard in an interview that we did, it's not a box you can check.
Yeah.
It's not something that you can just okay, here's the waterfall down to our go live on our digital transformation. It's a process. But what I do want to talk about in this is just maybe turn it on its head a little bit to say that digital transformation is a data-first modernization of a company.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is, typically, I feel like if someone that's more in the space would hear digital transformation, it's like, okay, we're moving from on-prem to the cloud. Yeah. Or we're making sure that we have our, data storage and warehouse and building out our infrastructure.
Yeah.
But that's all great, but without data, that really means nothing, that process.
The tools are just tools.
Right.
We've talked about customer data platforms and things of that nature, and it's like, you could build your own, you can get one that's off the shelf. The platforms are the platforms. You have to have the data in order to do something with it.
I think this article that I'm even referring to is making a whole business case for data-first modernization. And we'll put this link to this article.
It's on CIO.com.
I think Tech Target.
Yeah, okay.
We'll link it in the show notes if you guys want to read the full article. But making the case, which I totally agree with, that data-first modernization means unlocking trapped legacy data, capturing data from edge to edge, center to cloud. It means ensuring that all data is connected and usable wherever it is located, leveraging analytics and intelligence to architect new processes.
Yeah.
And I just read that because I'm like, I couldn't have said that better.
No, and I think when you sent me the article and I read it, I was just shaking my head the whole time, because a lot of when we have challenges, when we're talking about data infrastructure and things like that within an organization, a lot of the challenge and overwhelming feeling is because of the infrastructure itself.
Right.
And we did talk about this in one of our last interviews with an organization where they're going through this digital transformation, and you can get so trapped on what's the right tool, what's the right platform, where do we store it, on cloud, on the premises. I love the whole edge to edge, server to server, kind of concept. And not that those things don't matter. It's not that where you store it doesn't matter. It's not that security is not important. We're yes, all of those things are important. Yeah. But start from the data itself.
Yeah, and I think you're so right, because the key that stuck out to me is it's connected and usable. Yeah. And that's what matters. It's if your data's not connected and usable, it's really
what are you doing then?
Meaningless to your company. And I think with that being said, there are, which I was really shocked by some of the statistics.
Yeah, what are some of the reasons why? If somebody isn't bought into a data first direction for their company, what are some of the reasons why they should reconsider right now?
Let me tell you, because this is pretty convincing. 20 times more likely to beat their competitors to market with innovation, often by a significant amount of time.
Which is super important, and we've talked about this in innovation with data episodes that we've done. There are only so many things within your company that you might be able to innovate or make more efficient.
Yeah.
You can use data, though, to look at different revenue streams, different customer profile. There's a world of innovation that exists outside of just refining a process or a product that you already have.
And something, this could be a whole tangent, but I won't let it be, something even super cool is like using the data to find acquisition targets.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's like, okay, well, we identify that we could expand to this service or this geography. We don't want to build that out.
Yeah.
We want to acquire a business so we can do like make that instantaneous. But data is what tells you.
Yeah. That's that 20 times
That's the 20
right there.
times.
Yeah.
Okay. 11 times more likely to beat revenue goals by 10% or more.
Probably because more people in the organization are then informed about what's going on.
Yeah.
So they're able to take action.
And I would
off of it.
assume that there's work that's been done to go from objective all the way through the organization down to data and, you know, disseminate that.
Yeah.
So everyone's like, we're moving towards this objective and we have all the information we need.
I mean, and just think about what every company has gone through over the last handful of years. Like, you know, from not just evolving consumer behavior, but pandemic in the middle of it. If you want to be able to weather storms, you have to be able to make good decisions based on the risk that you understand.
Have agility, right?
Yeah.
To be like, okay, you know, we got a pandemic. What are we going to do? Or, you know, something specific in your industry goes wrong. Like, what are we going to do? It's like, well, the data is like your fail safe. Like, let's, you know, where is it pointing us?
Here's what we're able to do. Here's what we should amplify.
Yeah. 4 times more likely to have high job satisfaction among developers and data scientists.
Which you need to keep those people happy.
For sure, 100%. And 3 times more likely to prioritize applications over infrastructure.
I think that was the one when I read the article that I was like, that is so interesting because it's less about like, and we got into this with our interview with Ted Crewell as well, where we were talking about like at a certain point, software kind of goes outside of its life cycle. It becomes, you aren't maximizing it as much as you could, blah, blah, blah. I think this one is very interesting because if you are starting to create more applications based off of what you have, like that not only plays into the innovation factor, but that also plays into the experience that you're offering, either internal or external. And it kind of plays into efficiency. Like you're now finding ways that you can build essentially like little mini products that help your company work really well or engage your customers better, that then you could turn around and make revenue off of those products.
Yeah. Well, and I think this is saying over infrastructure. So it's like, I think historically it's been an IT infrastructure first mentality. Let's build the infrastructure and then we'll fill in.
And then we'll figure it out. Yeah.
And I'm like, what does the infrastructure do for you? It's a means to an end.
Yeah.
Right? Like when you put the application first, that provides agility and flexibility for whatever you want to do.
Well, and it goes into when we were talking to our friends over at Meritrust and their data roles and like, how do you pull that data together and how are you activating it? How are you motivating others with it? That's where that application like comes in too, of it's the actual action point of it, and goes back to your point earlier, like if you've got all this legacy data sitting out there somewhere in a lot of different platforms and you're not doing anything with it, you're probably sitting on a gold mine. And I think these stats prove
Speak
that.
for themselves.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot more we could talk about with that, but I just wanted to put that idea out there. Like the data first model just being so much more powerful and flexible. And it's the way that everything is headed.
Well, you can't get married to infrastructure. Technology changes very quickly. The way that we deliver, you know, technology changes all of the time. You can't get married on the platform or the infrastructure anymore. That has to be just as agile as your company.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we would love to hear more about if there are particular topics with like data first modernization or digital transformation that you would like us to dig into more. Or if you're involved in this field and you would like to be on this podcast with us, we'd love to talk to you more about that. So email us at hello@insightlypodcast.com.
See you on the next episode.